Hello, welcome. As you might have noticed, the Northern Hemisphere is now experiencing a weather condition called hot. And since it is hot season, a majority of my time has once again been freed up. Don't bite my toes. As per last year when we experienced hot, I'm excited to get back into Create This Book. Create This Book, if you missed it, is a prompt creativity book, so on each page there's a different prompt, and don't lick the floor. And so I've completely forgotten what prompts I've gotten done at this point and what there is left to be done. So I'm gonna look through it real quick, and I'll be right back. Stop licking the floor.
A few moments later.
Lots of prompts, many prompts. Lots of prompts. And I had all summer, and I only did 6 of them. So I've got my work drawn out for me. I want to get it finished this summer, but lots and lots of prompts. I think I have an idea to get started on these prompts. Let's show you my idea. Hi, voiceover me now. So here's my idea. If I just open the book to a random page and do that page, even if I don't have an idea for it, then I'll force myself to come up with an idea. That's my big brain plan here. After a few tests, it feels a little bit rigged because you can open the book specifically to pages that have already been done. Like, they stick out a little bit further in the binding. So, more often than not, you find yourself opening the book next to pages that you've already done. So, although I tried to randomize it as best as I could, things like this happened. So, as you can see, when I opened to the randomized book page, I got Create a Fantasy Home. Obviously, I had no idea where to go with that, so I did the best I could, meaning I googled the prompt and I stole one of the reference photos. So I googled the prompt, as mentioned, and I was just looking through all the different options, and it had things that I consider fairly conventional fantasy home ideas, like a home in the sky, a home in the mushroom forest, homes with unicorns and stuff like that. But I wasn't really into any of those until I came across a reference photo of the house that I'm drawing right here. And I thought it was so cute, and I told myself, it's giving 1950s villain vibes. Okay? Just hold on to that for a sec. So, looking at the reference photo, it led to an article talking about the Van Damme house. And I'm like, oh, question mark? This is a real place? So I googled the Van Damme house, and there were a lot of houses on there, but not one that looked like this. And when I found the one that looked like this under my search, the Van Damme house, it was talking about a movie called North by Northwest. And so I googled North by Northwest, and it's an Alfred Hitchcock movie. It's giving 1950s villain vibes because it is 1950s villain vibes. So this is the Van Damme house from North by Northwest, but I'm calling it my villain lair for the purpose of this video. Never have an original idea, ever. So here we go. Here's the final results of that. I did some brickwork on the main chimney, and to incorporate my rule of using blue, I did purple for the mountains and blue for the rocks around it. And here's the final result. So once again, I have no idea what to do for any of the pages, so I used my randomization technique to once again just open up to a random page, and this time I got Create a Test. Basically what you do is you draw something with your dominant hand, and then try to replicate it as closely as you can with your non-dominant hand. So I wanted to pick a design that would look pretty good in repetition, since I would have 2 drawings of the exact same object. Something that I really love in repetition is koi fish and koi ponds. So that's what I ended up doing for this prompt. I did a square of watercolor paper, blue watercolor on top of that, then a base of white acrylic just to make it less transparent, and then I did Posca details over the top of that. And I did that for my right and left hands respectively, making sure I don't use my right hand to create my left hand drawing, because it's all about that comparison. Doing this prompt actually made me think of a time when I was 8 and we went to the state fair and I played one of those carnival games and I won a fish. And I mean, I was 8, but I was pretty smart, so I knew that it was not going to stay with us forever. But that fish proved all of us wrong. He lived with us for like a year and a half, and he got so big that one swish of his tail would take him down clear to the other end of his tank. And obviously that's outgrowing your tank. So we took him to the library, and when none of the staff were looking, we just kind of dumped him in inconspicuously to be free with all the other fish so that he could actually have a good time in a tank that wasn't small. That library actually got +1 fish that day, and nobody was ever the wiser. And if you are the library, I don't know what you're talking about. You had the same amount of fish as you did yesterday. So at this point, I'm basically thinking that the randomization technique has no downside. Then I pulled this prompt. This is one of the risks with doing the randomization technique. I was basically fine with getting any other prompt in the book except this one. Basically, to make a long story short, I had to do this exact same prompt in graphic design last year as my final project, and I hated it. I basically just ended up redesigning my channel art and calling it good because I had literally no other ideas for this. So I didn't know what to do for this prompt, because if I couldn't think of an idea in graphic design, why could I think of one now? So I sat on my couch for a little bit wondering if I should try to pull another prompt that's not create an advertisement, but then I decided I was just going to push through with it and come up with something. So here's my idea. It's a buffalo petting zoo. Basically, the idea behind this is everybody loves buffaloes, right? It's not just me. They're so fluffy and beautiful, and you just want to pet them and hug them, and they seem so nice and gentle. But in real life, they are not so nice and gentle. So you can come to the petting zoo with the pastel-colored buffaloes, and you can just pet them. And they're so nice and gentle and kid-friendly. And yeah, that's basically what I ended up doing for this page. On the left-hand side of the page, I created something that was like a faux photo taken at the Buffalo Petting Zoo or something like that. And for the right-hand side of the page, I created something like a postcard that somebody could buy at the Buffalo Petting Zoo gift shop and send home to their family. And it goes a little bit into more about what a Buffalo Petting Zoo is. On the postcard, it has 4 points of why you should visit the Buffalo Petting Zoo. And it's don't get hurt, boop the snoot, kids safe, and fluffy. So here's the final project. I liked this a lot more than I thought I originally would, and turns out I was dragging my feet for no reason. Praying to the create this book gods that I don't get an ugly prompt, I opened the page to create a profession, of which the instructions tell you to create an imaginary profession, and it can't be anything that's real or could ever be real. So my idea for this page is a little bit out there. It's professional pug painting, okay? Bear with me. So in the original prototype of the pug, there are 2 designs, the fawn pug and the black pug. And the concept art department molded the clay pugs and then sent them off to design to get proofed. And so somebody in design had to paint the details on pugs. So one pug was just going to be fawn, but the other one had to be black. So they left the fawn one clay colored, because the pugs were obviously made out of clay. And then the design artist had to paint the black pug black. So they took the black pug paint and they were working on painting the black pug black when the fawn pug came up and put their ears and snout and walked all through the magical black pug paint that the painter was using to paint the black pug. And that's why fawn pugs have a black muzzy and black ears and dark paws. Does that really make sense? Not really, but somebody had to put the details on the pugs, and I would love to professionally paint pugs and put the details on every single pug. So that's my idea for this. I know that really doesn't make sense, but it's cute. I got art supplies and I got a pug head. It works out, even if my idea is a little bit random. At this point, I'd like to assure you that things can't get any weirder with my designs, but that'd be lying. At least this prompt is supposed to be something that's a little bit out there. This one is create an unusual combo. And the examples for this are a ceiling fan made out of donuts and a car made out of flowers. So it's supposed to be something that's like an object made out of something else. I couldn't think of a single object, so I thought of a city. Okay, that's not a object, it's multiple objects made out of groceries. But not all groceries. I just wanted pink groceries. So I decided to make a skyscraper out of a milk jug and houses out of ketchup and jam. And then I know it's not pink, but I did a city street light made out of a carrot. I don't know how much I like this prompt. Obviously, I didn't have any other better ideas for this, or else I would have done that. I ended up calling this Fridge Haven, and I drew a little suspension bridge in the background. And I think it's kind of cute. And here's the final result. The final product looked a little bit Dr. Seuss-y, just with the colors and then the pen on top of that, but I don't mind. So here's the 5 prompts that I did all together. I really had a fun time doing this. I will definitely be using the randomization technique in the future because I still don't have any ideas for any of the pages. And I hope you guys had a good time watching this. If you did have a good time, I'd ask you to interact, but I can't force you. So have a good day, and I'll see you on the flip. Thanks for watching.